Three. Hi, everybody. Here's Alan Marcus from Transgurus. We're going to present you a new Transgurus episode. You'll see about everything in detail. I would just like to make a small introduction before. Thank you very much for following us in Facebook Transgurus and YouTube Transgurus. It has been really very, very well overwhelming. We have lots of followers and regular followers all over the world, and you are most welcome to be part of our lives. Thank you very much.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another edition of Transgurus.
Hi.
And yeah, hey, we're all back in the house, the spiritual house. And
Yes.
Today our topic is want plus desire plus action equals results or manifestations. So, it's like it's one to the next and you get your result. And I'm sure all of our gurus have a lot to say on this. So let's see, who wants to go first? Well, I'm going to pick someone then.
You go ahead.
What about Bonnie?
Okay. Life is a trip and it's a journey. And it's all how you perceive everything and the way you deal with stuff. And tonight's topic, it can be about business. It can be about career. It could be about relationships. It could be about anything. But first of all, you got to want it. What does wanting it mean? To me, wanting is something more than just, oh, I think I'm going to go to the movies tonight. It's like, I want this. It's something that you have to feel passionate, it's something that like lights a fire that you like feel like, yes. And that all goes into desire. And you can have, and I'm just not, for me, I'm going to gear it towards transition. A lot of people want to transition. And what's meant by that? Some people transition early, midlife, later on in life. Well, some people sit back and say, oh, I wish I could be like that, or I wish I could do that, or gosh, if I could only be that way. And what I'm going to say to you is you got to want it, you got to desire it, and you got to take action. What does action mean? Action means you might write a list. In order for me to achieve a goal, I need to do this and this and this and this and go completely through the whole ordeal of everything you need to do. Once you write it all down, once you have your clarity as to what is passionate, because sometimes when you write something down and then you have to write down everything it's going to take to get there, you may say, well, I'm not willing to do that, or I'm not willing to do this, but I'm willing to do this. And you find where is your passion, and the end result will be how much effort did you put into it? How hard did you try? What did you do to actually make that manifest? Was it just in your head, a fantasy, a dream? Was like, oh, I wish I could be that way, but I can't because of this and that and that. You can find all the excuses to justify all the reasons why something can't happen, or you can put yourself in a situation and figure out what you want and then how to get around all those obstacles. Some people, and the timeline is different. I know people that have gone on hormones for a couple of years prior to actually full time. I know people that, and during that couple of years, they had their electrolysis and their laser treatments, and they lost weight. And they worked on maybe exercising their body and all different things, that growing their hair. I mean, a lot of people don't want to wear wigs, and sometimes people have short hair and they want, they want to pass. It can take you a year to grow your hair. What I'm saying is it might take you 2 years to grow your hair, depending on how long you want it. My point is, you have a list. Grow my hair. How long a time frame? 2 years. I don't want to wear a wig. Okay, so I got to wait 2 years. I'll go on the hormones. In 2 years, I can finish all my electrolysis and my laser treatments. I can lose weight. I can work on my voice where I have time, so that when I do transition, some people, listen, just come out of the gate 2,000 miles an hour, and there's no stopping them because the passion is on fire. And of course, if you have passion and it's on fire, things are going to happen faster and things are going to manifest quicker. But there's no right, there's no wrong. And in life, that's why I started out about the journey and I started out about perception. Figure out what works for you, what it's going to take for it to happen, what your time frame is in your mind. And listen, I'm going to tell you something. Just because you put it down and you say in 2 years, all this stuff is going to happen. But I'm also going to say to you, you can put it down in 2 years, all this stuff is going to happen. And in 1 year, you're already there. So to say that there's anything more than everything is right, you got to enjoy every day like it's your last, live it like it's your last, have passion, live your life with passion. And if you basically want something, and you're willing to focus and put the effort into what it's going to take, I promise it will manifest. Sometimes sooner, sometimes longer, but it will happen. It all depends on how much drive you have to accomplish what it is you want to accomplish and have a good time along the way.
Wow. Thank you, Bonnie. My bonbon. My bonbon. Yeah, that's my loving nickname for you. That's powerful, I tell you. And you know what? It is so true. That whole thing of like, it will manifest. It might not be in the time frame. It might be a little longer, or maybe shorter than the time frame you give yourself, but it will manifest. So let's see. I think we need to hear from a really handsome trans guy that is very, very like profound, and I think you know who I'm talking about. Christian, what do you have to say on this topic?
Well, that was really nice, Raji. Thank you. I didn't know it was me you were talking about at first, but
Oh, and that's another thing I love about you. You're humble.
yes, I do my best, and I learn from the best. So everybody here teaches me that every day. But for me, having a desire, putting together action, and then getting results. That's something that's manifested in my life ever since I was little. And I can give such a simple example as to when I was a kid, where my mom told me that I was up and walking around. I was running around at I think it was like 18 months, and she had to chase me. And my dad was always making sure that I wasn't taking the remote and breaking it open, because I wanted to see what it did when I threw it. But like as a baby, like you could see in a baby, like they don't have language, they don't have the ability to ask or get advice or be taught in the same way that we do to an adult, and they just naturally have a desire to be like mom and dad. They want to move around, they want to do what they're doing, and then they just get up and start doing it. They start going to work, and every time they fall down, they get right back up. And that's pretty much what I've done in my entire life. That same formula of learning how to walk is the same formula that it takes to be successful in any pursuit you go after. It's really simple, and a lot of people like to overcomplicate things, and it's not necessary. It's like adding fluff to your essay when you can sum it up in one short paragraph. Like, let's cut to the chase. Let's stop making things so complex. People are always being sold nowadays by these programs, by these mentors, by these, billboards, by all these advertisements, by people that, they have a lot of money or something like that. And, I have this special trick. I have the magic pill. Well, newsflash, I'm no one to talk for, I have only been walking this earth for 27 years, but, I have never seen in 27 years a shortcut to getting something that is worth my time and just having it given to me for free or for no effort at all or no time invested. So, it's those shortcuts don't exist. It's not a reality. Like moving forward, like, I always realized I had clarity with things that I wanted, and it didn't always manifest like that. Like sometimes I would be doing things and I wasn't totally sure if like, this is what I want. And I wasn't totally, I wasn't totally like on that level where I had like a consciousness that I was completely aware of like what I'm doing and where I'm going to go and how I'm going to manifest it, what it takes to get there. But sometimes I would have the formula down pat. And as I grew older, society kicked in and kind of influenced me, and you would start to second guess yourself and doubt yourself. But when I was transitioning, like Bonnie said, I had come out the gate 1,000 miles an hour, and I was willing to do whatever it took to get there. And, same formula applies. Some people, they complain about, I don't have this, I don't have a promotion, I don't have a job, I don't have this merchandise, I don't have the same thing as the Joneses or the Smiths. I don't have the nice body, I don't have the voice, I don't have the boobs, or I don't have the penis, I don't have, all these different things that we can say that we don't have or do have, or I don't have the genetics, whatever it is, it's under the umbrella of everything. Everything that exists here, it's under that umbrella. So I can say all those things that I don't have and complain about it, but say it to other people and keep saying it and as if like I'm daydreaming too much about it. There's more to the formula than just daydreaming and visioning. You have to add action to that vision. You have to discipline yourself to do the tasks that are required. And if you are that passionate about it, then you're going to go out there and do it. When people just talk about it and talk about it and talk about it, and then a year or two later, you're in the same spot and you're still talking about it, you're still in the same spot, that indicates to me, and from what I know growing up and trying to be as logical and realistic and reasonable as possible, that demonstrates to me that that person doesn't really want that thing. And that's like, let's not waste our time. We got one life. If this is what you really want, well, then you're going to make a way. You're going to find a way to do it. If I have a kid that's starving, I'm going to make a way. I'm going to find a job. If I need to do something, I'm going to find a way to support that mouth because I love it that much. I have that much passion for it. Same thing for my transition. I'm going to find a way to get my hormones. I'm going to find a way to cut my hair. If I can't afford the barber, I'm going to do it myself. If I can't afford to get surgery right now, I'm going to go and work a double job. I'm going to work a triple job. I'm going to go do side work for somebody. I'm going to go do volunteer work because I want them to see me. I'm going to get my foot in the door. I want them to see me as a good hard worker, that I'm a valuable asset to the team. And then they're going to eventually maybe give me money, or maybe eventually they're going to refer me to a place that I could make more money. There's always a way. There's always a way. And if we start to do stuff, then opportunities open up and then we can walk through the door or not. But that's what ends up with the results. I don't know how else to describe it. It's like budgeting your money. You have a paycheck, you get money in, and you have a certain amount of money to give towards all your expenses. Well, same thing with your life. You have only a certain amount of time. And when that time is up, you're done. Right now in this time, we have 24 hours and even less than that, because you're sleeping for a good portion of that, 8 hours or so of that. And whatever's left over, you have to allocate that time towards whatever category of pursuit that you're trying to achieve. And then once you have that dedicated, you have to stick to that plan and revisit it and re-edit it and keep on repurposing it until it filters down into exactly what you want. And to me, that's how you manifest success. That's how you manifest results. So I hope I summed it up as much as possible. That's me.
Oh my God, Christian, thank you so much. And you had so much to say, so many great things to say. And what I got from you so clearly was the action part. I got that so clearly from you. Like, if you desire something, you need to do something about it and make, steps. Don't let the challenges or the things in your life stop you. Find a way. If there's a wall in front of you, find a way to go around it or go over it or go through it. And so I love that. I love that. I guess for me, well, first of all, one thing about desires, I have to say, is I think, and I've seen in my life, that it's very important to be clear about your desires, like the things that you want. Because there's this saying, be careful what you ask for because you just might get it. And so I think clarity is a very important thing, and specific. Because, you can say, oh, when I get older, when I grow up, I want to make it to Hollywood, right? This is just an example I'm using. So Hollywood, well, guess what? The universe might send your ass to Hollywood, Florida, and not Hollywood, California. What I'm trying to say is being specific and clear about the things that you desire. So, okay, want plus desire plus action equals manifestation. So for me, want represents the mind, like a thought, like and a strong thought of something that you want. And then the desire for me represents the emotion that comes with that. Like you think of something you want, and then you have this desire, which is like, this emotion that to me is like the gas to your desire. And then action is, of course, the steps that you take towards your goal. Now, this is the thing about steps or action. For me, even if you do one little thing a day, like, you don't have to get consumed and overwhelmed with like, oh my God, I have all this stuff to do to get to my goal. You can break it down. You can say, okay, I'm going to commit myself every day to doing one thing towards my goal. Like, for instance, when I wrote my book, okay, initially when I started, I'm like, oh my God, to tell my whole life story. But then I broke it down and I'm like, you know what, Raji, if you can do one paragraph a day, you've done something towards that goal. So like, and one paragraph ends up, sometimes I would sit down and do one, and I end up doing a damn, almost a whole chapter. And some days it would just be the one paragraph. But the point is, it adds up, and little by little, I got to my goal. I accomplished the goal. So, it's very important, I think, for people to, to remember that, it doesn't have to be the whole thing at one time. You can take little steps towards it, which then equals the manifestation of it. And our minds, I'm just going to close with this before I go to another guru, is our minds are so powerful. Whatever you believe in, the creator, the universe, God, whatever it is, the higher power gave us these minds to create, and to create on all different levels. And when you think about it, every single thing on the planet that was made, started in someone's thought. So before there was the wheel, someone had to think of the idea. Oh, maybe we can make something that helps us carry things from point A to point B. before there were planes. Oh, maybe we can build a container and fly like birds one day. You know, computers, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. The house, the apartment building that I'm in, you know, the top that I have on, it all started in a thought and you know, in an idea, a thought. And people, then the person that had the idea then worked towards manifesting it. So always remember the power that each and every one of us has when you're dealing with the mind and thoughts, because you create your life, whether you do it intentionally or by default. And on that note, I'm going to go to another lovely guru. Now, I know Miss Jimmy usually likes to close, so I guess I'm going to go to Ella, and then we'll go to Jimmy. So, Ella, what do you have?
Yes. Well, my guru friends, you three have talked so beautiful things which I absolutely identify with. So I don't want to repeat, but I'd like to add some of my personal experiences and probably a little bit of the Ella factor. First of all, my life has always been ruled by exactly by this want, desire, action, and results. In my business life, in my private life, but I think here it's my transition. Where is the source for the want? Throughout my life, I had many wants, and they usually come from a dream, from something which comes from within myself. I knew that I was a transgender at a very young age. It was my dream. It was my, you know, I wanted to be a woman. And got that other, I had other parts in life. And it took me a very long time actually to make my transition. But that want was always there. It was my dream. I dreamt about it. I was sweating my dreams. Everything that I was doing was that want. Well, the right time comes because you see, whenever you do something, it's never too early, it's never too late. It's at the right time. And, you know, you can plan as much as you want in your life. But sometime, your plans will always be changed. I think the better example of that is the year 2020. Who planned to have what happens this year, you know? Plans are wonderful, and you have to have plans, believe me. But you have to have the flexibility to adapt. And this flexibility to adapt in myself being a transgender, it came that my want became so strong. It was more than a desire, it was a must. And when the must is there, the action is going to be immediate. And it was immediate. And to tell the truth, I am so happy because although probably, you know, I'm an old girl and the results are probably not there yet 100%, I would like to do a couple of other things like, you know, facelift, you know, looking a little bit younger or whatever. But I think I've done already quite a lot and I'm very happy with it. And it's not the end. I'm not dead yet, you know. Life is always continuing. It's a dynamic world. And you have to take that dynamism throughout your life and throughout everything that you do. Adapt and carry on. Right now, I have to tell you, I have been now lately more outside of my transition than in my transition because I arrived to a level that I am more or less comfortable. I've started this year I've started other things, like I wrote 2 books, I started a new company. So I'm doing other things too. Just yesterday, I went live for the first time with my new company, selling CBD products. So we went live on the internet, and we are starting a very, very nice, promotion phase. We hope that it's going to go all right. I've got a partner, someone very, very nice. And, but the results will be there because we are fighting for it. There's actions that we're doing. We're putting everything in the right place to get there. And by transitioning and being a transgender and transitioning, it is an action, a very strong and very powerful action. As a transgender, I think that we learn many things because we are transgender that most people never learn. And this is something that we should be respected for.
It's a gift, not a curse.
Absolutely. And I am very nicely and gifted and very happy to be the woman I am now. So this is my part of what I would like to tell you guys.
Oh, Ella, thank you so much. Oh my goodness, that was so profound. That was really profound. And how you spoke about from young, knowing within yourself that you wanted to be a woman. I could really feel the passion with that. And, sometimes it doesn't happen, right away. And it's, for some of us, it takes years, but look at you now. Look at you now. It almost brings tears to my eyes because I'm just so happy that I know a lot, a bit more of your journey, and I'm just so happy that you got your wish. And I just feel so honored to sit on a panel with you gurus. I'm so happy we're here in this, I'm sorry, I don't know why I'm getting so emotional, but I'm just so happy that we're here in this time and space together, and it's such a blessing. So on that note, I guess I'd like to hear from Guru Jimmy. I think we all want to hear from Guru Jimmy.
Well, thank you. And again, what I'm hearing is profound. We all have our own unique way about navigating through life, and we all have our own. I use the same word, recipe, to manifest our own reality. And I think everyone said something really important. Our thoughts do create our reality. And, I'm hearing patience and vision and creativity in our imagination. And it's like these, I wrote a few things down. Want plus desire plus action equals results. Well, each one of these things, and I think Raji mentioned a few of these things too, like the want part has many elements to it, same with desire and same with action. But what I want to talk about is the action part. So we can want something, and Raji, you really had a good analogy where that's the thought part, and then the desire is the emotion, the passion behind it. And these two components of this equation don't really require any effort per se. We have a thought, and however thoughts come to us doesn't really require any horsepower, any calories, any effort. And same with desire, that passion that may get us worked up or our blood flowing. It's the action part that I want to talk about, and that's where self-discipline is necessary. And I read this the other day, and I don't know who wrote it. I'd like to give him credit for it, but I don't know who wrote it. But Self-discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. So earlier today, I looked up the definition of self-discipline: the ability to control our feelings and overcome our weaknesses, the ability to pursue what we think is right despite the temptation to abandon it. And that's out of the dictionary. I think there's a better word, a better way to describe self-discipline. It's to be master of self. And if we have a vision for ourselves, and I think I spoke about this on one of our other videos, it's going to require effort. A lot of stuff does magically appear in our life, or when we're in flow with our environment, a lot of things do just kind of magically fall into place. But it requires effort, it requires intent, and it requires the implementation of a plan. I think almost every person I heard speak so far, that they have a plan. You know, Bonnie said, write it down. Bonnie has a goal, she has a list, makes a list of what needs to happen, and you have a plan. But discipline, and so I looked up another definition of discipline. The true meaning of discipline is to learn or teach. So discipline can be learned. And, you know, it's like people say, like, how do I develop my self-discipline? Well, it's little things. It's like a real easy way to implement some type of self-discipline would be with our dietary choices, making wiser dietary choices, what we consume. Another way to improve our discipline is initiate some type of exercise program where it requires effort. If you discipline yourself to go to the gym or exercise at a certain time every day, it becomes intrinsic into our daily routine. Humans, we're creatures of habit. And the hardest part about initiating anything is establishing momentum. You know, once you get the ball rolling, your inertia is going to carry you through. So the hardest part about anything is the initial initiation of that new event, that new routine, that new behavior. It's behavior modification, and we can discipline ourselves through making small choices, dietary, exercise, at work. You know, when I think Raji was writing her book, 1 paragraph a day. And, you know, the bricklayer builds a house 1 brick at a time. So that's how we can develop our self-discipline. And discipline is empowering. So here, the rewards of self-discipline is improved self-respect, less stress, and higher performance. So how can discipline give us less stress? It's because we have a feel that we're in control of our own lives. You know, through the whole package, our imagination, our vision, our creativity, our thoughts manifest. Our thoughts have a frequency and energy, and that somehow or another is the engine that, what I believe, is the engine that drives events in our life. And so that gives us a sense of I don't want to use the word control, but a sense that we're in the right direction in our life. And then that gives us, when all the horses are running in the same direction, we have more available horsepower. We can perform better. And it's a couple other things I wrote down here. I read this a while ago, and it was in this magazine. And this has to do with having our vision and having a direction in our life. The world will step aside and let anyone pass if they know where they're going. And that kind of sums up the whole title of this thing. If we know where we're going, and then we have passion, a vision, desire, that emotion, a higher thought coupled with a higher emotion, the world will step aside and let us pass. And one other thing I wanted to mention, there's always going to be obstacles and there's always going to be problems, but these are simply learning opportunities.
Oh, absolutely.
Raji.
Yes. Amen. Oh, Jimmy, thank you so much for that. My goodness. Wow. And I love how you ended it. Obstacles and challenges are learning opportunities.
Sure.
Oh my God, that is so powerful.
Perception.
Yeah, go ahead, Bonnie.
No, I was just going to say it's all about perception. You can
Yeah.
have that molehill and it can be like, oh, this sucks. Or you can have that molehill and get a charge out of overcoming it and accomplishing it and go away with a good feeling, even though it was something that maybe whatever reared its horns that you didn't know, but because you had the right attitude,
Right.
the action was easier.
Well, Bonnie, just like you said earlier, you said it's not a curse, it's a gift. And that is a perfect example of how you look at something. Like, you know, we trans people can look at it like, oh my God, this is a curse. Why couldn't I be quote unquote normal? Or, wow, this is a gift. I'm different, you know, than so many other people in this world. So yeah, it's so powerful. That's so true. It's relative to how you view things and look at things. This was I think this is a great topic, and I definitely want to hear from our viewers. We have really grown since we started. It's amazing, all of the wonderful viewers we have now. And we do this from our hearts, from our spirits, you know, from our soul, because our core intention is to touch and inspire people out there from our own experiences. So thank you for watching. Don't forget to leave your comments, any topics you might think that, you know, you'd like us to discuss in the realm of, you know, positivity and spirituality and, you know, getting things accomplished. By all means, you can, you know, message us. And I'm going to toss it over to Ella for the divine closing.
Thank you very much, sister. No, I'd just like to thank everybody. And it was really great to talk with you again today. And I hope you enjoy and leave your comments. And come and visit us in Facebook and YouTube. We love you here.